Today we'll be looking at the critical Social Security dilemma of how to time your Social Security benefit. How do we time our benefit is a question that I get on an almost weekly basis. And although it can feel complicated to answer that question, it's more simple than you think. That's exactly why we're making this video today, to show you how to avoid this Social Security trap and maximize your spousal benefits between the ages of 62 and 70. So let's get into it. We're going to use Melvin and Goldie as our examples. They're like many people that we talk to in that they're facing a crucial decision about their Social Security benefits. They're getting close to Social Security claiming age, and this decision is a one-time decision that has a significant impact on their overall retirement plan. Melvin started his career as an engineer, and then he moved into management over the years, and his wife Goldie worked on and off as a consultant throughout the years. They've got $2.1 million in their retirement savings, and they're conservative in their investment preferences. And keep that last bit in mind because it's going to come into play in their decision a little bit later. They're wrestling with three different claiming strategies, both claiming at 62 versus Melvin as the higher earner claiming at 70, and then Goldie claiming earlier, or both waiting until they're 70. Like many people in this position, they want to understand how each choice could permanently impact their retirement income and their spousal benefits. But they don't understand how each Social Security claiming combination could affect their total household income. They're contemplating this idea of both claiming at 62 or having the higher earner wait until 70 while the spouse claims at 62, or they both wait until age 70. Being conservative investors, they're especially concerned about making a permanent mistake, especially since their different work histories means that spousal benefits will play a major role in their retirement income down the road. So we're going to look at each of these three options and we're going to break them down. So first, let's consider 62 and 62. What are the benefits? Why would somebody claim at this age? Well, it can be appealing to claim both at 62 because it provides immediate income for both spouses. If Melvin and Goldie both retired early together, they might be thinking about the benefits of both of them having that income inflow. But then they're also thinking about some of the downsides of both claiming early. Like, for one, it locks both of them into the maximum possible reduction of their benefits. So that's negative 30% less for the rest of their life. And that can become problematic, especially if they both were to live into their 90s and they were to rely primarily on their Social Security income. Now, locking that reduction in would probably be a bad decision for Melvin and Goldie because they have $2.1 million in savings and they could afford to delay their benefits for a higher payout. Plus, they said that they were conservative investors, and that can many times infer that they're going to struggle with outpacing inflation, meaning they might err on the side of realizing lower returns during their lifetime. So that means having more Social Security benefit with its cost of living adjustment would especially benefit them. And it could be an unnecessary trap, a missed opportunity for both of them to claim at 62. But when does it make sense to both claim at 62? I think if they answer yes to any of the following three questions, it might make sense. Question number one, has their $2.1 million portfolio suffered a significant downturn? Question two, do any of them have any pressing health issues that require their Social Security income sooner? And question three, will Social Security benefits be relied upon to cover most of their needs? In regard to the first question, this is a possible scenario only if their $2.1 million portfolio suffered a significant downturn for this to make sense, in addition to a large withdrawal on top of that drawdown very early into the start of their retirement. In that specific scenario, it might make sense to allow the portfolio to recover. I say this with caution because it would have to be both a significant drawdown plus a fairly significantly large withdrawal. And that might happen if they were trying to pay for their retirement income and they were also going on an expensive vacation and remodeling the kitchen at the same time. Otherwise, if the portfolio is experiencing normal times, it would likely make sense for them to delay their benefits and maximize their lifetime payouts. Regarding the second question about their health, claiming at 62 could help people meet their cash flow needs if necessary. But in this scenario with Melvin and Goldie, the answer is probably no, because even if they did have a medical need, their larger amount of savings would make that reasoning doubtful. And here again, delaying may yield higher total benefits. And that last question, will Social Security benefits be used to cover the vast majority of their needs? In some people's cases, yes, but I doubt it in the case of Melvin and Goldie. You see, Social Security covers a lower percentage of lifestyle needs for people who are familiar with having higher income, and it covers a higher percentage of the needs for people who require lower income to meet their lifestyle. It's skewed that way on purpose. So if a person has a lower amount of retirement savings, then claiming early may be worthwhile. So given this information, it only makes sense for Melvin and Goldie to both claim at 62 under these lesser likely scenarios. And if they access their benefits early, it permanently reduces both of their benefits, including his higher benefit that came from his years of working as an engineer in management. So now let's look at ages 62 and 70. In this scenario, the spouse with the smaller benefit would claim at 62 because you need to reach the age of 62 to be qualified to claim early, and the larger earning spouse would wait until they are 70 before claiming. Now, this would trigger two consequences in terms of both penalties and benefits. The spouse claiming early, in the case of Goldie, would receive a lower percentage of spousal benefits for life, regardless of when her husband claims. But Melvin, by waiting beyond his full retirement age, he's going to gain delayed retirement credits of 8% each year that he waits up until he's 70 years old. This allows Goldie to receive immediate income at 62 while her husband grows the larger benefit by that 8% per year, maximizing the larger benefit for the household long-term security. One potential consequence here is that this creates a significant gap between 62 and 70 where the household only receives those reduced benefits from one spouse, and that calls for some careful planning to bridge the gap from the other retirement resources. In addition to planning for that gap, there's something else that can go wrong, and that is if the higher earning spouse were to pass away before 70, then the surviving spouse would not be able to gain those 8% annual delayed retirement credits that they had been putting off their claiming for. So when does it make sense to claim at 62 and 70? Remember, if Goldie claims at 62, she gets 30% smaller benefit from her own work history, or if her benefit is less than Melvin's, she actually receives 30% less of the spousal benefit. But Melvin, he's growing his benefit by that 8% per year as he waits, and that can add to the total benefits that the family would receive as a whole. Some questions that they would want to answer to help them determine this decision are, what is the health and longevity outlook for Melvin, the higher earning spouse? Can the couple sustainably withdraw from their $2.1 million portfolio to cover that 8-year income gap? And does the lower earning spouse have any wages coming in? As far as health and longevity go, if Melvin reasonably expects to live past 80, delaying to 70 can significantly increase their lifetime benefits. But if health issues are a concern, he might still consider delaying because when he's no longer in the picture, his benefit is the only thing that Goldie will have. When one spouse dies, the survivor keeps the larger of the two benefits, but not both. Regarding their ability to bridge the 8-year income gap from their $2.1 million portfolio, if the couple can sustainably withdraw from their savings to cover the gap, then the 62-70 strategy might be viable. And regarding the question, does the lower earner have wages coming in? This is an important question because of something called the earnings test. The earnings test reduces your Social Security income if you're working still and you earn more than $22,320 in wages. Then they're going to withhold $1 for every $2 earned above that limit. Now, this would not be an issue for Goldie once she turns her full retirement age, but if she's receiving any income and she's not full retirement age, then she'd want to wait until she either has no income or she turns, say, 67. So given this information, when does it make sense to claim at 62 and 70? For Melvin and Goldie, 62 and 70 makes sense if they want to optimize their larger benefit while getting some immediate income, particularly if the higher earner is in good health, and they're also comfortable using part of that $2.1 million portfolio to partially bridge the gap with moderate withdrawals. Now, as a quick aside, one of the biggest problems that I've realized in this YouTube space is that most of the advice out there is pretty generalized, which in reality can only take you so far. So to solve this problem, I've created a complimentary quiz to help people figure out if they're on track to retire given their specific retirement goals and their current situation. All you need to do is fill out the quiz and you'll know if you're ready to retire within minutes using the exact same process that we use with all of our clients at Brindle Bay. The best part is that this is specific to you, so you can save hours crawling through content online and you can just take the right step towards a better retirement future. To give it a try, click the first link in the description and take the quiz. Now let's get back to the video. Now let's look at both of them claiming at age 70. This is a scenario where Melvin does not take his benefit until he's 70 and neither does Goldie. Now a few facts to consider: if both of them delay until they're 70, this means they're living out of their other resources to cover 100% of their expenses during the delay period. They both need to be alive at age 70 to claim the maximum benefit. And while their personal benefit grows 8% annually from the ages of 67 to 70, the spousal benefits stop growing at full retirement age, meaning that the lower earning spouse gains no additional spousal benefit increase by waiting until beyond their full retirement age. So what are the benefits of waiting until both people are 70? Well, ultimately, the strategy provides the largest possible guaranteed lifetime income for both spouses, offering the maximum possible protection against longevity risk if both of them live into their 90s. Keyword being both. More on that in a minute. What's the downside of having both people wait until 70? And what are the potential consequences? Well, if they both delay until 70, it's going to require them to have enough other retirement resources to cover 8 years of expenses from 62 to 70. They'll need to have enough left over to continue to supplement their income needs for the rest of their lives in addition to Social Security income. And what if they both don't live long enough to break even? Where this could become a potential bad deal for them is if they weren't to both live long enough because they have maybe some unfortunate health issues. Not to mention that spousal benefit doesn't grow beyond age 67, and waiting beyond 67 for some spouses could just be wasting time and money. Remember, their personal benefit would grow, but not the spousal benefit. And in the case of Melvin and Goldie, despite them being conservative in nature and wanting to have that larger stable benefit, waiting into 70 means spending down that $2.1 million more rapidly. And we're going to want to look to see if her personal benefit is big enough to want to grow it beyond 67. Because if it's not, and she'll be getting that spousal benefit from her husband, well, then it really doesn't make sense for her to wait because she really has no increase in waiting. So when might it make sense for both people to wait until they're 70? Well, if they answer yes to these questions, it would be a good indicator for them. And even if they do answer yes to these questions, I have to say, I rarely recommend people both wait until 70, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. If they answer yes to, do both spouses have good health and longevity in the family? Can the couple sustainably withdraw from their portfolio to cover expenses during the 8-year delay period before 70? Is maximizing their lifetime Social Security income their primary goal? And if they answer yes to that one, I'd question why would that be their goal? The reason I'm a little critical of the benefits of both waiting to 70 is how often do both people have longevity in their family? Usually it's just one person. And regarding paying for those 8 years of gap, it's spending a lot of money. And this may make more sense when it's not a full 8 years because one spouse maybe is still working and making that withdrawal not that big of a withdrawal. And if their top goal is to optimize their total lifetime Social Security benefits because maybe they want a larger lifetime income, I would question how likely they are to really be maximizing their lifetime income because in reality, both spouses, here again, they need to live a really long time to truly get more. Otherwise, they would have been better off if one person claimed early. So in this situation with Melvin and Goldie, the only way it would make sense for both of them to wait until age 70 is if they're both expected to live long, if her benefit was as large as his so that they would both be growing, and if it made sense to take that large amount of money from their $2.1 million to cover the gap. Again, it might make sense if one of them were still working a little bit longer and maybe their needs were on the lower side. Now that we've outlined the three options, allow me to share with you what I hope is an epiphany for you. Waiting later to claim your Social Security benefit is not the automatic right answer. Waiting to 70 is not the right answer, especially for married couples. Earlier claiming strategies can often provide better outcomes when you understand how spousal benefits work and you coordinate your timing effectively. Claiming your Social Security isn't just about picking the latest possible age. It is about understanding how your specific situation as a couple, your other retirement resources, and your spousal benefits work together. While general advice suggests waiting until age 70, the reality is that personalizing your claiming strategy with a professional often reveals better options for your unique circumstances. So now that you know the crucial factors to factor in when you're timing your Social Security spousal benefit decision, you can follow the right strategy for your benefits. However, between coordinating benefits between your spouses, understanding survivor's benefits, and maximizing that lifetime household income, we have found that the right strategy can dramatically impact your retirement security. If you want to optimize your retirement plan further, we put together a complimentary quiz that will help you plan for retirement better. Just click the link below, fill out the questionnaire, and within minutes, you'll have personalized advice for your situation. We'll see you in the next one.